Well, let's have us another song if you don't mind. We Banjo 3 here in Studio B.
1, 2, 3. Stay with me a while, my child, I'll tell you of the things that make me smile. Tales of my roots below the wandering paths where wildflowers grow. The birds in their symphony, there's freedom in the way they laugh and sing. Buzzing of a happy bee, lilting and dancing in the breeze. You feel like you can't win, and you don't know where to begin. And the trenches seem too high, and there's nothing but clouds in the sky. Somewhere down below, your roots are starting to grow. Sit in the garden, give the weeds a pardon, and maybe let the flowers tend to you. Sit and laugh on sunny days and feel the worries gently fade away. I know this life asks much of you, but for tonight there's nothing left to do. There's always work left to be done, but we can't fight the setting of the sun. Cozy up and rest your eyes as the moon is singing in the sky. If you feel like you can't win, and you don't know where to begin, and the trenches seem too high, and there's nothing but clouds in the sky. Somewhere down below, your roots are starting to grow. Feel like you can't win, and you don't know where to begin, and the trenches seem too high, and there's nothing but clouds in the sky. Somewhere down below, your roots are starting to grow. Sit in the garden, give the weeds a pardon, and maybe let the flowers tend to you.
WNCW in Studio B with We Banjo 3. What was the name of that song, David?
It's called The Garden Song.
Right.
It's off the new album.
Thanks for being patient with old man brain. Sometimes
Yeah,
you
it's great.
just can't access the files. You'll know one day, man. You're
I
still
think
young.
I think I might be already there.
Martin, we established earlier, of course, that you play banjo. Also, you're multi-instrumentalist. I was reading that you have 7 All-Ireland titles. Is that on banjo?
That's what's currently documented. It's on banjo and mandolin and guitar,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. And said you were the first Irish banjo player to play in the Grand Ole Opry.
I believe so, yeah. I was actually, it's a funny story about really how we're 2 sets of brothers and we know each other going on about 20 years now. And before the genesis of We Banjo 3, we were playing music together in various settings and, enjoying each other's musicality and the inventiveness therein. And Enda was playing with a band, a group of great fellows from Ireland, and they had just done an album with Ricky Skaggs in Nashville, actually, I believe. And so Enda had just had a kid, his boy Matthew, and he said, "I want to stay at home." And he asked if I would deputize, so I went out to Nashville. That was my first tour of the US. I was probably 19, I think, and I got to fill in for Enda. So therefore, by proxy, I ended up at the Grand Ole Opry, which, in a full circle moment, Dave and I, our father, who's a brilliant folk singer, we grew up listening to the likes of Hank Williams and Merle Haggard and George Strait and, all of these greats. So the Opry had an indelible mark in our childhood. There was a lot of Opry-ness, if you like. So that felt like a big watershed moment to go back and, get to play on the little circle on the Opry. Yeah, that was a great moment. And we've had a lot of those in We Banjo 3. We've got to do some incredible things. Like we've had Sam Bush up on stage with us in Colorado. We played out in Seattle. Linda mentioned both Abigail Washburn and Bella Fleck came up on stage with us there. And we've just got to meet a lot of our musical heroes. And, we're grateful for every opportunity we get. And, of course, Merlefest, you can't throw a ball without hitting an amazing musician up there. So
That's true.
yeah, it's great.
I found that I don't think Sam turns down many opportunities to get up and pick. I mean, even other people's shows and good guys like you, I'm sure he was anxious to play with you. You mentioned those 3, Bela and Abigail and Sam, and those, I was thinking back in my head, those were 3 of my favorite interviews here at the radio station. The 3 of them most entertaining, most interesting, not only world-class players, but just these personalities that go for days and interesting to interview. In fact, it's an easy work for somebody like me to interview them because if you just start them, they take right off.
I can imagine, yeah.
Yeah, and having, I'll never forget having Bella and Abigail here in the Air studio down the hall, and Abigail brought her little board to dance on, and she danced and sang at the same time live in the Air studio, and I just sat there agog at her talent. It was amazing. You see her do it on stage, but you see her do it in a little bitty radio studio. It was incredible. Anyway, back to We Banjo 3. I digress. I wanted to ask some about, I was reading here, Fergal, you've been playing since you were 5, playing the fiddle since you were 5?
Playing the fiddle since I was 5. I think I also play the Irish drum in the band, which is called the Bowron.
Right.
So that gets taken out for a bit of air every night. But I think I got my first Bowron when I was like 2.5 or 3.
That amazes me.
I think I sat in it mostly for the start, But yeah, I've been playing all my life. I've been on stage since the age of 5, so it's been a life of music and performance, yeah, for sure.
You don't seem to regret any of it. You seem really happy about it all, right?
Very happy about
Good
it all.
times.
Yeah.
You guys play great together. You say you've known each other about 20 years or so?
I've known Martin all my life.
Well, of course, but yeah. Okay, smart guy. I like him. David's a funny guy. All right, how about I'll tell you, since my plan for getting back to the A studio is we're gonna have to change. You got it? Yeah. Okay. All right, so we can go ahead and talk. So again tonight, you guys are in Concord, North Carolina. It's not that far from here.
No.
And we continue on the way to Merlefest, and then we play another show in Ferkby, Verena.
Oh yeah, nobody knows how to pronounce it.
Furquay.
It's Fuquay. Fuquay?
Fuquay Verena, I think it's
Fuquay Verena.
or Verena. Good grief, I don't know.
We've
Well, if you
asked a
can-
bunch of people in North Carolina and nobody had ever heard of it.
Only the people that live there know how to pronounce it. That's what I found.
Yeah, it's
And even some of them have trouble.
Yeah, they've signed an agreement. They're not allowed to leave. That's why there's still people living there, I think.
I think it's like a Shangri-La of North Carolina. So we're going to play there, and then we make our way up. We play Rocky Mount, Virginia, and then up onto the East Coast, New York, Boston, up as far as Maine and Barrie, Vermont. So we're traveling up the East Coast, and then we're back out in not so long again. We're out in June, and we'll have the new album hopefully in the summer. So we're playing all over the Midwest and the Mid-South, and you know we always appreciate your listeners, you know, supporting. We're an independent band. We don't have a label. We don't have anything backing us in that regard. And it's just always amazed us that, you know, we can make a living doing this because of the generosity and the kindness of people who are, you know, supporting shows like this and listening in. So we're very grateful for it.
Speaking of in that realm, you all are somewhat philanthropic as well, and you giving back to the community and raising awareness. Are you still involved with that, with the mental health cause?
That was a project that we did in 2018 and 2019. We worked alongside Mental Health America, and I suppose the lasting effect of that is our music. There's a lot of the songs that we sing have, I suppose, delve into the realms of mental health, and I suppose we try to have our music be kind of an uplifting place for people, so that if you come to a show, we want you to kind of go with it, you know, and maybe step outside some of that for the night. And it's a really beautiful thing on the last couple of tours we've done to see how eager people are to dance and to sing and just be together again.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So I think that maybe is the lasting effect of that partnership, which we did back in 2018 and 2019.
Yeah.
And most recently, we just raised some money for the Ukraine.
The Red Cross in the Ukraine.
I've noticed, you know, a number of artists, you know, stepping in and doing that in whatever way they felt they could, and it just makes you proud as a fan, you know, and I know it's fulfilling for you as artists as well to be able to give, and so thank you for that. That big schedule that Martin was just running down, man. When are you going to have a chance? You're all living in Galway right now? Is that where your home base pretty much?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
When do you get to go back again?
It's nice. We have a bit of time off, you know, this summer before we, you know, you really savor those 2 weeks at home when you get them. So
Yeah.
and yeah, I think we're ready to play music. We're ready to be back out on the road, and we have an exciting summer schedule ahead of us too. So yeah,
And you, David, play guitar primarily right now in the band, right?
Yeah, that's
but
right.
you are a multi-instrumentalist
Yeah.
as well. But I read that you kind of like were just drawn into playing guitar more.
Yeah, I actually, when the band started, I was primarily playing banjo, and then I guess guitar has been this sort of thing where certain instruments, your kind of musical brain kind of clicks or something happens when you pick it up, and guitar has always been that way for me. But over the pandemic, I got extremely interested in clawhammer banjo and ended up getting one. So that was kind of my 2 years of being at home was clawhammer banjo. And I guess for me, I'm not really amazing. I'm not amazing at any of them, but I love studio work and I love that kind of production side of things. And I think it lends itself to a bit of an attention problem plus a lot of instruments in the same room is kind of it's a good mix, I think.
Keeps your mind busy, doesn't it?
Yeah,
And
it's
your
good.
hands as well.
Yeah, it's good.
Well, that is awesome. All right, tonight in Concord Live, and then 3 shows Friday at Merle Fest.
Yes, indeed.
Holy cow. And you'll be hanging out with Richard Beard, God help you,
Yeah.
on the Watson stage.
Richard better have the coffee brewing.
Well, I know he's looking forward to seeing you guys, and so are lots of other people. So appreciate you guys being here today.
Thank you.
Great tunes.